Hi everyone. It is Memorial Day weekend as I am filming this, so I am hoping that everyone who celebrates Memorial Day or remembers loved ones on this weekend was able to do that. And so I am wearing my red, white, and blue tie-dye to be patriotic. Um, I'm over pneumonia. I'm feeling a lot better, just my voice isn't 100% yet. And my kids are better. We're all doing better. So that's a nice weekend for us. A couple of weeks ago, I won the Morgan Taylor Up in the Air collection, which is the summer 2024 collection. Oops. And they're right here. I won them from Janice's Instagram group. It's a really fun group, lots of people, very relaxed and casual, and lots of talk about nail polish. So I'm really happy that I won them, and it's a brand that I like. I don't have a whole bunch of Morgan Taylors, but I do like them. They're a good quality mainstream nail polish brand. You can get them on the website Beyond Polish and probably a few others. You can also get them at Sally's Beauty if you're in US or Canada. I think that's the two places where Sally's Beauty is. It might be in the UK too, but I'm not sure. Anyway, they usually run about $7 or $8 for a 15 ml bottle. Right now, as I'm filming, the whole collection is on sale at Beyond Polish for $35. So anyway, I'm happy that I won them, so let's get into swatching. Okay, we're going to start off the swatches with Soaring Above It All, which is a bright sky blue. This was one of my favorites in the collection. And I was trying to show the label, but it just wasn't working. So they all have pretty good formulas. Soaring Above It All was almost a one coater, and if you're maybe a little bit thicker with your application, then it might be a one coater for you. I also really like the color on this. I think it'll be flattering on a lot of different types of skin tones. And here's Soaring Above It All in 2 coats. I partly did it in 2 coats just because that's how I normally do a manicure, but a lot of people could probably get away with it in 1 coat. So next up is this really bright green. It's, I think, almost chartreuse because it has quite a bit of yellow to it. It's called Flying Out Loud. And this was another really good cream formula. On the first coat, I thought that it might need 3, but it was totally opaque and self-leveling in 2 coats. Flying Out Loud is showing up a little bit more yellow on my screen than it does in person, but I am hesitant to try too much color correcting because I don't want to overcorrect or make the color just really wrong. And here it is in 2 coats. Next up is Don't Bring Me Down, which I was actually a little bit disappointed by, probably because it was the one that I liked the most looking at it online, because I do like neutrals with a shimmer. It just ended up being too close to my skin tone, so it kind of gave me the mannequin hands effect, and the shimmer did not really show up on me. This is the only shimmer of the collection, and the formula is a little bit different. It felt a tiny bit grainy putting it on, but by the time it dried, it was smooth. And I got it opaque in 2 coats. So here's Don't Bring Me Down in 2 coats. I think it will probably look a lot better on people with a deeper skin tone than me. Next up is this very pale pink, Up Up and Amaze. It might be a neutral on some people or a barely there kind of manicure. It also had a great formula. I thought that it was going to need 3 coats, but this was a 2-coater. So this isn't really my favorite type of pink, but it is a very good formula. I just don't find this shade particularly flattering on me, but it probably would be on people with different skin tones than me. And here is Up Up and Amaze in 2 coats. Moving on to Got Some Altitude, which is a kind of coral leaning bright pink. So this was the only 3-coater in the collection on me, and that actually kind of surprised me because these darker, brighter colors are usually 2-coaters. So later I did put this on, and you'll see at the end of the video, and I used 2 coats for that. And I also found that it was blacklight reactive, so that might be why the formula is just a tiny bit different. So here is Got Some Altitude in 3 coats, and it is one of my favorites in this collection. And now for the last one in the collection. This one is called Got Carried Away, and it's kind of a light orchid, kind of in between pink and purple. This one was also almost a 1-coater on me. So if you're, I guess, more deliberate with your application or have shorter nails, it might be 1 coat for you. And here is Got Carried Away in 2 coats. I think it's a really fun, bright color. It might even be a fun pedicure color. So before I get into comparisons, I felt inspired to do a little Dot-icure with these 2, with Got Carried Away and Got Some Altitude. I think it came out cute, but next time I do a Dot-icure, I'll probably use colors that contrast more. Okay, let's do some comparisons. I have the most comparisons for the blue, which is Soaring Above It All. It's right here. I used Ripple Effect to compare, as well as OPI Alpaca My Bags and the Orally Breathable Downpour Whatever. I think the closest was in color was probably Orally Ripple Effect. But it does have a shimmer, and I tried to stick with same finishes. In the bottle, Alpaca My Bags looked a bit closer than they do on the swatch. And the Downpour Whatever is kind of a brighter blue, and this one is a bit more grayed out. Alpaca My Bags was a lot more gray, so after I swatched it out, I'm kind of wishing that I'd used Orally To Me From Me as a comparison, because I think it's a bit closer. In my opinion, though, Downpour Whatever is the closest, except that it has a slight shimmer. Next up, let's compare Flying Out Loud. I didn't really have any creams that were very close. Flying Out Loud definitely has more yellow lean to it. It's probably closer to Orly's Field of Wonder, but still very different. And then the other one, I tried to do comparison. They look closer in the bottle in person than they are showing up on my screen. But I compared it to Essie's Willow in the Wind, which is darker. I did try to stick to the same finishes with my comparisons. And so I think I got pretty close for Don't Bring Me Down with Essie's Wireless is More. But it also was similar to Witch Cult Lacquer's Capricorn. I think especially the shimmer was more similar. But Witch Cult's Capricorn has some flash reactive glitters instead of just the shimmer, and Essie's has a kind of finer particle shimmer but no glitter, more like the Morgan Taylor. So for Got Some Altitude, I only really had one to compare, and they're not very close. They look closer in the bottle than they do on the swatch wheel. But I compared it to Undercover by Wet n Wild. But yeah, I don't really have anything in my collection like this until now. So for Got Carried Away, I actually did have a couple similar, but they are all different enough that you can definitely tell them apart. So in the middle is the Morgan Taylor, and then Essie's Fuel Your Desire is a bit darker and maybe a bit more muted. And then Orly Kaleidoscope Eyes is lighter, but it has kind of, I guess, the same tone or the same hue. I think hue is the correct word here, where it's kind of that orchidy pinkish purple. So for the light pink Up Up and Amaze, I didn't have anything exactly like it. I think that the LA Colors Giggle is probably closer, but it does have a different finish because it has like a small particle glitter or a shimmer. And then I also compared it to Olive and June Point, or maybe it's Pointe. But yeah, they're also different enough that you can definitely tell them apart. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really like this collection. I like Morgan Taylor as a brand. I think that they have good formulas, and I think this collection had some fun colors. Even Don't Let Me Down, which is the neutral with the shimmer, that I didn't really like. It was still a perfectly good formula and polish. It just wasn't flattering on me. So I would love to hear what you think, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.